Welcome to Modern Barber Upskills. I'm Charlotte, the editor of Modern Barber, and today we're joined by the owner of Avenue Male Grooming, Tarek Howes. Tarek's a textured hair expert and a huge advocate for ensuring the industry is educated, informed, and confident about welcoming clients with all hair types into barbershops. Welcome, Tarek.
Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're absolutely so busy in the barbershop, and thank you for taking the time to chat through.
No worries.
Cool. So it'd be really great to kick off with learning how you personally got educated on cutting textured hair.
Okay, so traditionally I started off as just working as just a barber in more of a traditional barber shop. So kind of classic techniques and things like that on more European hair. But a lot of my friends and family had Afro textured hair. So when I was coming home and obviously word got around that I was cutting hair, it was just people like knocking the door, can Tarek cut my son's hair? Can Tarek, can you, do my hair, So I started doing more of it, and I've always had a passion for it to kind of want to learn how to cut Afro hair as well. So that's how I first got into it and kind of fell in love with it. And then over time, I carried on working in that barber shop. Then I left there, and then I went to work in a barber shop that was mainly just doing Afro hair to really kind of, because I felt I learned all that I could have learned from cutting European hair, which was wrong. I didn't learn everything I could have learned at that point in time. But then I went to learn how to master more like Afro hair, fading, patterns and stuff like that in a more traditional Afro barber shop, and I worked there for a couple of years. So it was great. It was a great, I'm glad I done it because it kind of gave me the tools I needed to know how to cut, Afro hair and European hair and kind of everything in between, Asian hair, people like Arab hair, stuff like that, with it's all different kinds of textures, So that's kind of how my story of how I got into it and cutting Afro textured hair.
Wow. And why do you think it's so crucial for barbers to be cutting all hair types and all customers?
Yeah, I think it's massively crucial because I think it's just, why would you turn down a whole demographic of people just by not having the knowledge to do it? Why would you say to someone or take someone's money if you're going to say yes and not give them the service that they deserve for their hair and not have the knowledge to deliver the service that they're paying you for? You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make sense either way around. If you're a traditional, more of an Afro barber and you don't know how to cut European hair, you don't want to say no to people. And if you're working in more of a European barbershop and people coming with Afro hair, why would you want to say no? Oh, I don't know how to do your hair. Just, in 2021, there's, with all like the technology we've got and all the training and the information that's available, we should all be making an effort to to learn and to better ourselves, so we don't have to turn away clients or make people feel that we're not making the effort to understand how to cut their hair and be bothered to do it, which is not always the case. Sometimes people haven't got the knowledge, and for one reason or another, it's not that they can't be bothered. But I think that it's time to make the effort across the board to all of us to understand how to cut all hair textures. It's like when like the fusion between like hairdressing and men's barbering kind of come together, and like the longer styles and techniques come about. I struggled massively then myself. When you look at like what Menspire do and stuff like that, which is amazing for the industry, that's why I had to do that. And I had to like network with people, go on courses with like Jody Taylor, with Menspire, and speak to the guys. And I become confident of cutting, kind of with their techniques that they've learned from Tony and Guy and from wherever else that they've learned, they've worked. So it's just about that, really, just keep pushing and pushing, and not limiting yourself to what you can do and what you know.
And do you think the onus is definitely on the individual to be pushing themselves to learn new techniques and new skills like you have? Or do you think there needs to be part of a bigger change in perhaps education providers, putting out certain courses, parts of the syllabus?
I think that the syllabus 100% it's got to be, it can't just be like a box that gets ticked no more, that, you do a certain, you do an Afro cut and take the photo and send it. I just think it's got to be barbering or hairdressing. It can't just be, a certain article on your education, your qualification. I think it's just, when we're learning to cut hair, it'd be nice that if it was just more included in the actual syllabus to learn in. And then obviously anything then is on the onus is on the person to excel and learn more in all kinds of haircutting and with all kinds of hair textures and styles and fashions as well. So I think first of all, it's got to start with the syllabus, and then people have got to take it upon themselves as well to, you know, to progress themselves.
And what do you need to think about for people listening today who aren't as confident cutting Afro hair types? What do they need to think about, like skin sensitivity? What kind of tools are better to use on textured hair?
I think for me, the tool, you can use the same tools. It's just how you use them is totally different. Like it is almost like a total different system of cutting and stuff like that. So I'd say the tools, you wouldn't necessarily need to buy new tools as far as scissors and clippers and stuff like that. You know, you could use easily the same tools. But yeah, so when it comes to like fading, you've got to think about like the skin sensitivity. So, you know, just looking at the client's skin, because sometimes people with Afro texture hair could have more of a reaction to when the clipper takes the hair too close to the skin. So they may get ingrown hairs and stuff like that. So that's something you've definitely got to think about. And even with the trimmers, the skin can be softer at times. So, you know, you want to be careful you don't cut the client or the razor. Some clients don't like having razors because it can leave them with irritation. So definitely be more weary of kind of when fading and when using a razor and stuff like that. It can cause irritation. So just ask the client, do they usually get irritation when shaving and stuff like that? Or if they have the fade too close to the skin, does that cause irritation as well? So yeah, they're, without going into like how to cut Afro hair, just first of all, they're kind of the things you need to think about to be wary of.
Brilliant. That's a really good point actually about asking the client, because it's likely that the client knows how their skin's going to, they know best.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So when it comes to kind of hair trends and the cuts that have stood the test of time, what are the ones that you get asked to do again and again on textured hair?
I think the ones that have kind of, you know, iconic styles that have kind of stood the test of time and what we still do quite often is like the low kind of Caesar cut. So like the wave kind of effect that's kind of been around for many years now. And that's very popular still. It's adapted over time, and, you know, people mix it up with fades and with tapers and stuff like that. So, you know, it's grown, but that's definitely still very popular. The flat top is still very popular. It's not worn so hard and squared as it used to be, but essentially people have it like more curled now with a curl sponge and stuff like that. So it's more textured, but essentially the cut is very similar to a flat top. And also the classic round afro as well is still a very popular look in my shop. I do them daily. I've done 2 already today like that. So it's just like, it's still a very,
bread and butter.
I enjoy doing it. I love the shapes you can create and the looks and styles you can create with Afro hair. That's what I love about it.
Yeah. And what would you say to barbers that are kind of intimidated on creating those styles, if they're like, obviously appreciate them for the beauty of it, but they're like, I would not know where to start?
It's just about, you know, I mean, there's actually mannequins now, Afro hair mannequins that's brilliant to see, because you know, there's still few and far between, but they are out there. And so, you know, get a mannequin, same way as what everyone practices, you know, start practicing on that, build up your confidence, and then getting friends in or clients, or maybe putting a post out on social media, you know, just to get used to cutting some Afro hair. You know, maybe watch some videos, try just to dip your toes in, and then maybe look for you know, education courses or online education and stuff like that, then to progress on that. But it's just about just taking that leap. You're going to make mistakes, but that's how you learn, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So it's, you know, you just got to have the confidence to go for it.
And do you know any good courses and training, or do you offer anything yourselves?
I think I do offer training. I do look and learn seminars myself, and also I've got an online education platform as well on my website. So that's focused around Afro hair and the styles. So that, you know, that's something people could look at. But then there's other people like Kevin Lutchman as well that has online platforms and does education. Slider Cuts is a great personality, and he's always dropping hits and tips and hints on Afro hair. Dialer Cut Barbers Jr., I don't know if you know him. They're just 4 people three people, including myself, that I see. There's probably more, but again, I don't see it as much. It's not as, I think there's great people out there who do offer the education maybe, but I don't see it so mainstream, which is definitely something that could be improved to help people with gaining confidence, so, if people start sharing their knowledge, and then that's how everyone's going to get better, and it's going to make a change, and the industry will improve in that aspect.
Cool. So on that point, actually, what do you hope will be the case for in 5 years' time for the training and the industry on Afro hair? Do you hope people will be across the board having the confidence and the knowledge to not be phased when someone with textured hair comes into their barbershop?
Yeah, definitely. I think the movement's happening definitely is getting better. It's getting more airtime, which rightly it should. It shows that just before obviously the pandemic, you were having more of that represented on stage and things like that. So, if that can get pushed more, then people get inspired by it, and if it gets more shown on social media, then they're going to look for courses. But then the course has got to be there for the people to go and take as well. But again, like we touched upon earlier on, I think it's got to be down to the qualification, like the governing bodies as well, to from that level, from the ground up, to start doing a bit more first and foremost, and then it's got to be on people to want to expand and want to know more. And again, that's on across all kinds of barbershops. Like I said, there's certain barbershops that only know how to do Afro hair. There's certain barbershops that only know how to do European hair, and I think it's better for everyone if we all just add more strings to our bow, really, and get stronger at cutting all types of hair. But I just feel that the education for European hair is more out there, it's more easy to get to, in your general, your qualifications when you're learning it, that's what you're taught how to cut hair on. So it's based mainly around that. So yeah, definitely got to improve for that. So that would be my thing, is that at a qualification level, it gets more airtime and gets more, driven into the the learners syllabus, and then also people just taking it upon themselves, and after that to really go and learn how to improve.
Brilliant. So can you tell us a little bit more about Avenue Male Grooming and how it serves the local community? I want to know whether your clients are all kind of local to you, or do they sort of travel for your expertise?
Yeah, it's definitely a very community-based shop. A lot of the people from the local area come here, but also we have people traveling as well. So it's great. That's what I've tried to do, because the area that I'm in is kind of like, people would say, oh, they didn't want to come to this kind of area. It's kind of like, it's where it's at, and that's where the people go to have their haircut. Yeah, but why should it be like that? Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be that way. So I've tried to offer something, more. It shouldn't just be because you're in a certain area. The people deserve the same things. Why not have a kind of higher standard of barbershop in everyone deserves to have it, and have the, I try and educate my staff and myself to be the best I can be, to offer it back to the community. We've done charity work for the local community as well. So yeah, it's great. And we get people from all different areas, and do you know what? And then everyone gets on. It's an amazing thing to see. There's people of all different races, sexuality. There's everything is in here, and there's no one gets uncomfortable. It's just like a great thing to have, really. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of society needs more of, is like people being around each other and talking as well, and getting to know each other and getting to know different cultures. And that's what I pride the shop on being, is that kind of place where anyone can come and just have a chat and feel comfortable and feel like, it's a safe place for people to come to,
Yeah. And kind of breaking down any boundaries that there might be happens when people of different backgrounds and experiences come
100%,
together.
because the thing is, if people come from different without going too political, people come from different backgrounds and they don't know or don't understand, then you're going to have kind of like awkward moments and awkward conversations. But what we try and do here, we talk about things, and but it's good because people learn, and you'll have people who don't know about someone's religion or don't know about someone's culture, but then we'll talk about it, and then it's like, okay, I didn't realize that. And I think that's what needs to happen more across like the board, is them conversations. If you don't have them conversations, how are you ever gonna have the confidence to understand someone's culture or someone's differences? So that's why we're not saving the world, but it's nice to have a barbershop that can kind of like that's what I pride on being, really. It's just a place for everyone to come to, no matter what race you are, no matter what background you come from.
Yeah.
You know, and just feel at home.
I love that kind of where the awkward conversations happen. That's where the good stuff kind of happens and where progress happens.
100%. That's it. And I see it here so often. There'll be a disagreement, but then it'll be like, oh no, but and then people understand each other. And then that's how you move forward. If you've just got an opinion and you don't look at the other side, then how are you ever gonna learn and progress, you know, and better yourself or your own knowledge? So yeah, definitely.
It sounds like you've
need to be had.
Got like a little microcosm of society within your barbershop.
Yeah,
like
we have.
You
kind of got to be, really, because that's the way it is. We're so, you know, the different kind of it's so multicultural in within my barbershop, with the staff, with the clients. So how could it not be them kind of conversations? Do you know what I mean? But that's great. That's how I want it to be, and that's how I think it should be. Really, it shouldn't be awkward for a white guy to go into like a black barbershop, you know, and it shouldn't be awkward the other way around. No one should ever feel awkward going somewhere because of the color of their skin or the ethnicity or the religion, you know. So that's just how we want to have it in here. Or the sexuality, we have people who come here that would fit in. When they come here, they think, I was nervous to come to the barbershop because, you know, you're all kind of football watching men, and I didn't want to come in here. And then they come in and they're relaxed, and that's just how it should be. Just no one. I don't like feeling awkward. I don't think no one else likes feeling awkward, or feeling like they're not wanted. So no one should have to feel that way.
So on that note, I spoke to kind of Slider Cuts about the kind of community aspect of traditional black barbershops, and how they're a safe and welcoming space for black men particularly.
Yeah.
So do you think they'll continue to exist? If we're training barbers to cut all hair types, do you think there should be some kind of protection for black barbershops specifically to ensure that kind of culture is protected? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely think the culture should be protected without a doubt. You know, it should definitely be a space for people, but it's the more inclusive we are as well, we could all share that kind of community with each other. You know what I mean? It should always be, definitely it's been in like black communities, the barbershop is definitely the hub of the community. You know, when we had that older shop, when we were doing like walk-ins, it was just a place where people would come, and just, if someone got arrested or anything, or someone went to uni, it was like the place where everyone knew where you know, you come to get your gossip, or if a bad football result happened the night before, people would come to wind up the opposing fans. So it's definitely a great thing, but it should be something that, you know, again, that everyone can enjoy. You know what I mean? And no one should feel awkward to go into that kind of shop. Do you know what I mean? It should just be, and the barbers don't make it awkward, but it's just people's that they think that, you know, if I go into a certain barbershop, they're not going to like me or welcome me, when it's not the case. Do you know what I mean? And I think, yeah, people, it's 2021 now. I just think people just gotta, you know, stop being silly and go, you know, if you want to get your hair cut from a good barbershop, don't worry about where it's situated or what, you know, if it's predominantly Afro barbershop or black barbershop, you've got to go there, man. People just got to get out there meeting people. But yeah, back to the point, I just think I just think everyone can get in on that kind of community from a barbershop. And I think a barbershop should promote that kind of, you know, atmosphere, and kind of, when people come in here, it's like they're friends, like everyone, we're all friends. It's not just clients, you know, we're friends. We speak, we're in WhatsApp groups, you know, we share things on social media. You know, we go to when the pubs are open, we go to the pub together, we go to football matches together, we watch football here. Sometimes we'll have lock-ins and watch the football games. Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll have food here, so people can come and watch the football and have food. So yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be protected and something that shouldn't get taken away, but it's something I feel that everybody can to make use of and enjoy as well at the same time.
Amazing. Kind of want to come and experience your barbershop now.
Yeah, definitely come down.
Where's my invite? Tariq, it's been so good chatting with you, and I can't wait till all the restrictions are over and you're going to have all of those lock-ins and community kind of feel again back in your barbershop, because it must be like feel almost like something's missing at the moment, not having that kind of arm of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely restrictions with the social distancing and only allowed so many people in the shop, and yeah, it's kind of killing the vibe a little bit, but you know, we'll take it for now, and hopefully we'll get back to things sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it sounds like you're still there for your community,
Yeah.
despite not being as physically close as you could be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, Tariq. It's been really good to chat to you. And for anyone that's caught a little bit of this conversation, maybe if you're on a cheeky break at work, you can catch the full thing on our Facebook page, and I'll also be putting up on IGTV and YouTube tomorrow. Thank you again, Tariq. It's been amazing, and goodbye, and chat soon, hopefully.
Speak to you soon, Charlotte.
Bye. Bye.